Hello, everybody. I'm Adam Kelnhofer, congressional reporter for WisPolitics.com, here with a DC Wrap feature. I am joined by Major Joe Trovato of the Wisconsin National Guard, and we're going to be talking about some of the Wisconsin Guard's mobilizations lately, and especially their soon to be trip to the border, where about 125 troops are going to be headed to the southern border with Mexico to assist in a non-law enforcement role with the Border Patrol. And we're going to be talking about some of their overseas deployments. So, Major Travato, what can you tell me exactly about their role in these non-law enforcement projects at the border? Because I know we've been hearing a lot from the Republican congressional delegation from Wisconsin that um, they want troops to be helping with what it seems like law enforcement roles, like helping with like drugs and human trafficking and things like that. So I'm really curious what the National Guard troops are going to be doing down there.
Well, to be honest, a lot of that is still to be determined. This is a federal mission, so it's coming directly from the Department of Defense. And our troops were actually only just recently notified that they would be partaking in this mission. So much of that information is still to be determined, including the timeline even. We're not 100% certain on an exact date or anything like that. We just know that it'll be this fall in a non-law enforcement capacity, assisting the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency in any way that they deem necessary. But the exact roles, locations, and specific duty assignments are still very fluid and to be determined at this point.
All right. Well, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's going to be in fall, so it's down the road. Has the Wisconsin Guard ever been to the border to assist Border Patrol agents in the past?
We have actually a number of times, including most recently in 2018, 2019 timeframe, when we had a fairly sizable group that assisted the Arizona National Guard, which was assisting the U.S. Customs and Border Protection as well. So they at that time participated in also some non-law enforcement activities in a variety of different roles, all across Arizona, and ultimately that mission concluded in 2019. But we also had about 1,000 Wisconsin National Guard troops that were on the southwest border back in for actually up to about 2 years, beginning in 2006. Troops rotated through. Most weren't down there for the duration of those 2 years, but we had troops rotating through back in about 2006. And then going way back in history, in 1916, during the Mexican border crisis, the entire Wisconsin National Guard mobilized to the border and assisted at that time, right before World War I.
Wow, 1916. That is quite a history with the border. So what were some of the roles? I mean, obviously the trip in 1916 was maybe a little bit different, but what were some of the past roles they played at the border, like assisting as Arizona National Guard and such?
Yeah, sure. So in a lot of cases, it's really just lending a helping hand, working in command centers, constructing some different facilities, things along those lines. It's really run the gambit in terms of a lot of different jobs, because we can really kind of plug in wherever we're needed. They did assist with some checkpoints and things like that, but also in the most recent one, they were not engaged directly with any individuals coming across the border.
Interesting. Yeah. That's very curious, because I think a lot of people saw the non-law enforcement tagline and thought that was interesting. But
and it was, and like the last mobilization, it was largely administrative and logistics as well. So moving supplies and other things between points. Really whatever duties were needed to help assist and make things a seamless process.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you guys are very flexible. We know that with the COVID response too. So where are some of the other places in the world that Wisconsin Guard troops are deployed right now?
Yeah, so currently we have our 135th Medical Company out of Waukesha that is in Kuwait and Iraq. They deployed this spring, end of March. They mobilized and they've been on ground now in Kuwait and Iraq for the past few months, providing medical care to coalition troops in the region. And so far, they've been doing a fantastic job. It's about 65 troops from the 135th Medical Company. And then at the end of May, our 107th Maintenance Company out of Sparta and Viroqua, Wisconsin, mobilized for deployment to Eastern Europe. Their mobilization will take them to Poland and several other locations across Eastern Europe as part of Operation Atlantic Resolve, which is an ongoing U.S. operation, NATO operation in the region. Otherwise, we've recently concluded a large number of deployments as well. Just since like Thanksgiving 2019, we've had more than 1,200 troops either deploy or return from deployments to places like Afghanistan, Ukraine, Iraq, across the Middle East, and the Horn of Africa. So it's been a really busy stretch on the overseas mobilization front, but right now those two missions are our current ones. We do have another federal mobilization as well. Our 176 Cyber Protection Team, which is a Madison-based unit, they've been mobilized to Fort Meade, Maryland, since last fall as well on a federal support mission.
Can you talk a little bit more about that cybersecurity mission? That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so they're ultimately they're assisting in a support role to national level cybersecurity efforts. A lot of the details of their specific work are not really for public sharing per se, but they're assisting federal agencies and DoD at a very high level at this point. And it's a small, very unique unit that we have in the Wisconsin National Guard, and the unit's actually split between Wisconsin and Illinois, our respective National Guards.
Interesting. Can you tell us some more about those deployments in the Middle East too? Are the troops that are in Kuwait and Iraq, are they going to be affected at all by the pullout in Afghanistan?
No, not at this time. Certainly not anything that we've been told. The drawdown in Afghanistan largely does not affect Wisconsin National Guard troops that are mobilized right now, because our last troops left Afghanistan this past year already, and we didn't currently have any other additional deployments to Afghanistan slated that we were aware of. So the missions in Iraq and Kuwait are ongoing, and as of this time, we have no indications that those deployments would be curtailed in any way.
All right, and then last, I guess, but not least, is the Eastern European deployment. What are they up to there? I know there's a lot of issues in Ukraine, but you said Poland, so that's definitely interesting. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so Operation Atlantic Resolve is a mission that's been ongoing at least about 5 years now, and where a number of U.S. troops have been rotating through Eastern Europe, and it's largely a security and stability mission, reassurance of NATO allies, of American commitment to the partnership there, and but ultimately the 107th Maintenance Company, they're a unit that is, as their name implies, focused on maintenance. So they'll be supporting the other allied and U.S. and coalition troops that are operating in the region. They'll be supporting them with maintenance support and services. Think vehicle repair, think vehicle servicing, things like that. So there are about I believe about 150 strong that are deployed with the 107th right now, and we expect them to be doing a great job in Eastern Europe as well. So we're looking forward to big things from everybody that's overseas.
By chance, do you know if they're working on any Oshkosh trucks out there?
I can't say with certainty, but certainly there are a lot of those in the inventory, and they they would most likely be servicing that type of equipment as well.
Perfect. Yeah, there's another Wisconsin angle for you.
Yeah,
Wisconsin is everywhere, really, in my experience. But well,
for
thank you
sure.
so much for joining me, Major. It was great to have you on and talk about some of those overseas deployments and especially the southern border deployment. And I hope you have a good rest of your week and enjoy it.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, of course.